Hello, ladies. Thank you. Yeah, the trailer for my channel is about 5 years minus 2 days old, but it is set so that if you go to my channel, it's only visible for people who did not subscribe yet. If you are a subscriber, you will see what is the next upcoming or the latest tutorial that was posted. Thank you, Kim. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for being here, Elaine. Hi, Black Onyx Cat. I just love that name. Hi, Darla. Hi, Janine. Hi, Matnats. I told you I cannot remember your actual name. It's just you have such a crazy handle and I love it. Hi, Skywalker. And also, you know, I usually, unless people tell me it's okay, I avoid calling people by their actual name, not by the handle they use on YouTube, because there's a reason why they use a handle on YouTube and not their actual name. So I try to avoid going to people's privacy if, you know, they didn't put out their information outright. Hi, Francis. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so to get into our thing, and I didn't make the combinations of colors first because I had to show you how to make them. Okay, so what we are going to do today is this, and I know that the initial impression is that you'd have to have two separate triangles, like one would be this one, right? So, oops, sorry. So one would be this one. Oops, not you. Excuse me. One would be this triangle, right? And the other one would be this triangle. But it is neither of them. Your original is actually a hexagon, and it goes here. It goes like this. This is what we are supposed to do. And as you can see, there are actually 6 different color combinations. Even if some of them might look like they are the same, if you notice right here, this little rectangle here, I'm going to select 2 by 2 those colors that might look the same, and you'll see that they are not. The color right here in this small rectangle is going to change, okay, because this is one of them, and it kind of looks like the one here, but it is not. As you can see, it does change. The same, this one kind of looks like the one here, but it is not. It does change. So we have 6 different hues, shades, tints of gray here, so let's start getting to it. Let me get off the caption. Okay, awesome. Hi Karen, hi Ilyanka. So what I'm going to do is to get actually, and I might have to redo this through the pasta machine several times. So I'm going to grab 6 of these, 6 squares, and again, you see, sorry, I'm using the square cutter that's 1.5 inches side, and I'm going to cut 6 squares. And again, they don't have to be exactly the same shade as the one that's in the photo. I just need to have 6 different hues of gray. All right. Now, whenever you're talking about mixing black in something, it's not difficult. It's actually very easy. As soon as you're able to do your mixes, it's quite easy. And there are actually different ways of doing this, but if you're not very good at eyeballing, I suggest you use the method that I'm showing you here. Let me grab it. My pasta machine is in great need of being cleaned, so okay. Now, before going before going to the next step, let me go back to my thing here and figure out which are what would be the order, right? So let me switch this here. Obviously, the lightest of all is this one, right? So we are going to put a 1 here. Actually, why do I have, excuse me, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so the lightest is the one here, so we're gonna put a 1 here. Then the second lightest is fairly obvious, and as I showed you, it is easy to see if you watch here. It would be this one, right? Because this one looks, this one is lighter than this one, right? So let's use here a 2. Oops, sorry, forgot to change the color here. Then let's see, this one looks like the next in color. If we choose it, obviously it's lighter than this one, and obviously it's lighter than this one, so this would be our 3. Then between this one, again, watch here, between this one and this one, right? This one is the lightest. So we're gonna put here a 4. And again, I forgot to change the color. And then Obviously between these two, this one would be the 5 and this one would be the 6. Right, so there we are in the, let me get this into one single thing. So we are going to have we are going to have 6 different color combinations. And again, you can do it with other colors, not with black and white. I thought that the black and white is the easiest to explain, but you can use other colors and make different shades of it. Remember, you have a color. When you hear me talking about shades and tints and hues, I explained that in the first tutorial that's in the short series, my short series of Mokumegane. The first video in that short series is about color theory and tells you about colors, hues, tints, and shades. But to make it short, a hue is a different, it's just the same color but in a different hue, like where we have blue, then we have turquoise blue, we have ultramarine blue, and so on and so forth. A tint is mixing that color with white. A shade is mixing that color with black. So we are going to have, because it can be said that we are going to have different hues of gray, but it can also be said that we are going to have different shades of white or different tints of black. You see, this is why it's a little bit when we are talking black and white. But you can do this, as I said, you can do this with, let's say, light yellow, like a sunshine yellow and the alizarin crimson, or a sunshine yellow and, let's say, fuchsia. But in all of them, you're going to have to involve some white and some black to go from the, so you're gonna have tints and shades of certain colors. You're going to first mix the two colors that you want to use, and then do exactly like here, only from the, you're going to start from the middle. On this part add black, and on this part add white. But as I said, it's the easiest it is to go ahead and do black and white until you get a hang of it. I got me some new black, and I am very happy to report that it is not a sticky kind like the one I had before. So I'm super happy. Okay, so I'm going to get again one part, and then I'm going to use this one part to create the different hues of gray. Right? Going to be shading the white. And as I was saying, you have to be very careful when you mix a very strong color to a light color. You want to go with a strong color about half of what your mind would tell you. So if you want to make an orange, do not mix equal quantities of yellow, cadmium red and cadmium yellow. You have to go with about a quarter red and 3/4 yellow if you want to get a real orange. Otherwise, you're going to get like a coral red or a tangerine orange. So I'm going to first cut this in half. Okay, going to put 1/2 away. Then I'm going to use 1/4 here. Then going to cut this into halves and quarters. Okay, so the next quarter is going to be cut in halves and quarters. For the next one, I'm going to put 3/4. So this one has 4/4, right? 4/4 of a quarter, so that would be 4/16, 3/16. Now let me make some more 16s. So the next one is going to have 2/16. Now we are going to go even lower. All right, I'm going to get 1/32. Okay, so here we went all with 16s. Here we are going to go with 30 seconds. So I'm going to get 3 of them. Then on the next one, I'm going to get 2 of them. Then on the next one, just 1. So as you can see, I practically used 3/4 of one part, right? If I would go to consolidate this thing, it would make 3/4. So cut first the piece. You cut it in quarters. Hi, Tia. So let me go again so you can understand better. Okay, so you have the one part, and it doesn't really matter which, whenever you calculate the parts, which cutter you use. I just use this cutter because it's much easier to cut in half and 4 and so on and so forth. So I'm going to cut it in quarters. Remove 1/4, so I have 3/4 left, right? These 3/4, I'm going to cut each of them in 4, so I'm getting 16ths of one part. So I'm going with 4/16, 3/16. So this is for the first mix. Oh yeah, we might get some Finnegan whining that he is all unloved. Then 2/16. And now I'm going to start cutting these in 2 when I have 3/16 left. So I get 30 seconds of the whole piece. And now with the 30 seconds I go 3, 2, 1. So this is how you arrange your mixes. Let me remove this and put them aside. Now when you start mixing, always the first one you start with is the lightest one, because excuse me, I have some allergies and it's got a little bit cooler here, and the fall plants started blooming, and I have some quite severe post-nasal drip. It makes me cough. Why do you always start with the lightest? Because all these strong colors in polymer clay have the tendency to stain, and that is the most valid for red is number 1, black is number 2, ultramarine blue is number 3. The other ones don't stain that much, but they still stain. So you don't want to have pigment on the tile or on your fingers that will interfere with the purity of your mixes. All right. So, and again, as I said before, when you want to clean your hands, because I've seen this recommended on other channels, and don't ever do this. If you want to clean your hands after you work with polymer clay, and this is very, very important, because there are some substances in polymer clay that will not be cleaned by regular soap. You have to use lava soap, and I have that all the time in my bathroom for cleaning my hands. And after you use the lava soap and you clean your hands really good, use some hand cream. Do not use hand cream to clean your hands, because as much as it looks like your hands look clean after you put hand cream on them and then you wipe the hand cream, all that hand cream does is to kind of dilute the particles that are on your hand from the polymer clay, and they are going to get absorbed through your skin. So that's exactly what you want to avoid. Okay, I have my first color. Then I'm going to mix my second color, and I know it would be most likely faster to do it with the machine. I'm taking this opportunity to talk to you. What you're going to see soon will be, I'm going to do some Cernit tutorials, especially some tutorials based on the Cernit metallics, translucents, and opalines, from those lines. So if you want to go ahead and do that kind of stuff, that is awesome. And don't forget that PolyClay Play carries all of those, and don't forget, if you purchase stuff from PolyClay Play, to please use my affiliate. And let me post it once again in the chat. And there you go, because that helps me not only get materials, but also do those giveaways. Okay, the same as my Amazon influencer store helps me do that. And with PolyClay Play, as I said, I do not earn money. I only earn store credit, but I can get gift certificates for people with that store credit. While on Amazon, it helps me, again, not just with buying what I need and what PolyClay Play doesn't carry, but also get gift cards, especially for my subscribers in Europe or Canada, or who might want something that, again, PolyClay Play doesn't carry. Okay, so we got here the second. Actually, it could use a little bit on. Oh, that sounds awesome. I know you've been traveling, Kalyana, a lot. How is your arm? Because I know you have issues. Well, if you just have the plain Cernit translucent, you can color it with alcohol inks, so that is fine. But if you wanted to get bulk, honestly, I would have gotten the pearl white, not color already. So where in the Eastern Mediterranean are you going? In Greece, Lebanon, Israel, Egypt, Cyprus? Turkey? I don't know, I haven't been to Turkey. I didn't dare. My sister was, and she told me that the gold bazaars in Istanbul are absolutely fascinating, and after being in a gold bazaar, you're never going to be impressed again with the sight of gold, because you just see so much gold in one place. I know, I love you too. Finnegan is unloved. He's got the zoomies. And you're going to do it after, or you decided to do the trip first and then the surgery? I would presume you're in some kind of cast or sling or something, aren't you? Ah, yeah, and if you are not aware, I do have some other. Give me. Okay, I do have another tutorial that is 3D. Let me get you the link to it. But that one is with squares. Then there's another 3D effect. But it is done with the extruder. Let me get. Hi, Cower. And then I do have a couple paid tutorials in my store on Kalyana Design. It's boxes and pyramids. Cane. Maybe one more time. And that's not really Eastern, that's mid-Mediterranean. Yeah, you would love most of them. Not a lot of Greece, I see. Just one stop. Okay, let me do this with the machine so we can go faster than this. Okay. Yeah, but you will be asleep, right? Awesome. I have a former friend who lives close to Sardinia. Alright, and now the last one. Okay, now, in order to get that, to go to the final thing, what I'm going to do is to make first beads. I'm going to make beads out of each of these, and be careful and push your hands against each other very, very strongly. And you are done when you don't notice any kind of folding lines. And I'm going to do the same for all of them. Hello, Kim. Hello again. Two. So yeah, theoretically, if you want to be totally precise, because obviously the darker we go, the bigger the little balls will be. If you want to be exactly precise, you have to cut out of the white what you put in as black. But sorry, that's too much trouble for me. I'm just gonna cut off the extra. That can always go into the scrap clay, right? Yeah, I've been to Greece, Bulgaria, Russia, Moldavia, Italy, France, Germany, and London a little bit. I mean, I just got out of the airport and back in, but because I didn't have a lot of layover. Oh yeah, and Amsterdam, because I had 8 hours layover, so I was able to get out of the airport and go around and do stuff. Okay, now, if you notice, all these colors are, they are practically triangles, right? So this is what we are going to make. Let me get back on my thing. So in order to do that, I'm going to first flatten them. And be careful, always put them in order. I mean, I don't have any kind of issues seeing the difference, but as I said, I'm a tetrachromate, so I see more color hues than normal people. Yes, I'm abnormal, but I'm not alone. I mean, there are quite a few people, but the perception of color is different from person to person. So I suggest that you always keep them in that order. So I'm going to first flatten like this a little bit and keep doing this, and then I can start doing a better flattening. Just remember that they have to be a little on the squished side like this, so prepare all of them this way. You can keep using your acrylic. Now, something that is very important to make this cane is to keep, because see how it has a rounded thing here, you need to keep this side straight, so don't allow the edges to get rounded like here. You want to bring these edges up, and you can use your blade to get it better. Okay, so this is what we need. Actually, there will be a little bit longer, but Romania going just to Transylvania is a waste of time. Try to find in fall, try to find the wine tasting area tour, because Romania is a great wine producer. Also, the beach, the Black Sea beach of Romania is exquisite, and there are no sharks. I mean, yeah, in Transylvania you can see all kinds of castles and stuff, and they are going to suck you dry as a tourist with stories about Dracula, who was not in Transylvania, who was imprisoned in what's called now Dracula Castle, never ruled from it, never lived in it. He was imprisoned for a few days. If you find something that will get you in the countryside, then yes, that would be great. Another awesome guided tour, if you can get it, would be the monasteries of Moldova. There are some very old monasteries with beautiful iconography, and some of them are hundreds of years old. You can also go to the mountains in winter. The mountains are beautiful as well. Or you can choose a Danube Delta tour. Those are awesome. I mean, there are so many places you can go to in Romania. It's the crime rate also is not bad in Romania. Okay. Yeah, nobody in my family has color blindness, but I also know that nobody has the tetrachrome thing. And when the doctor, the ophthalmologist, first diagnosed me with, because I went to the ophthalmologist a lot of times when I was, since I was very young, because I had inherited myopia on one eye from my dad, and then the second eye started. But when I was first diagnosed with this, I think I was in my late teens and no, early teens. Sorry, early teens. I just felt so vindicated because I got into arguments with people all the time with, no, these two are not the same color. You know, that might be interesting. I've never had the synesthesia kind of thing. Okay, so it depends for what you want, Kanchana. Yeah, but there would be a very, very slight difference, and you'll be able to cut them off. Francis, it's not so Kanchana, it depends for what's your purpose. If you want to go to the monastery thing, your best bet would be early summer. I mean, except for winter and high summer, which would be July. Any other time of the year would be good. Romania is a temperate country, and there are 4 very distinct seasons. Very distinct. I mean, it's not like in other places. Like here in Oklahoma, we do have a very short spring and almost no fall. We have like an Indian summer, and then usually at Halloween we go directly into the early winter stage, and then we might have another day or 2 or week of Indian summer, maybe even a few tornadoes, and then we go into not sure that synesthesia means that. If I remember right, was you see colors when you listen to music. Okay, now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me put them here so you can see them better. And then we are going to study this so what we can see, that we have 3 and 4, 6 and 1, and 2 and 5. So it would be very easy to combine them. So as you see, we have them like this. So you're going to have, oops, sorry, I got them wrong. This is here and this is here. Okay, so we have Okay, so I'm gonna have these together. See how the darker one is slightly larger than the white one? And I told you that we are going to be able to fix that. Then 2 and 4, 2 and 5, and 3 and 4. Now, you have to be very careful that the lightest color does have a straight angle. This is why I did not build them longer, because you need to be able to cut the extra from the darker one. Let me actually grab my it makes beautiful lots of everything. And as I was talking about sometime in the past, I talked about the what is called the universal layer of information, the stuff that's a meta knowledge. For example, rugs, be them carpet rugs or wall rugs, in Romania are very, very similar to Cherokee rugs, and even the symbolism is quite similar. Okay, so I got the first one, and this one only has a little bit here. And this one a little bit here, and just a pinch here. All right, so now I can start getting them more into a diamond shape. So I'm going to use my acrylic block, and what I'm going to do is to pull in different directions and make sure that you flip it over several times so all your sides will be, and also make sure that you have a good end here that is perfectly straight. And again with this one, first get it straight and then start diamondizing it. And there we go. Yeah, no, I was born this way. Just make sure that once again your edges and corners are identical and straight. And the same with this one. So first make sure that it's nice and square here, and then start, and you always start along the line that's in the middle. So you always start like this, not like this. You start towards whatever, because it doesn't matter which way you turn it, it's going to go that way. So, and again, don't forget to flip it over so you can have an identical thing happening. And keep it the same. So you want all of these to be approximately the same size, and the same height, all three of them. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the display captioning not this, sorry. Just need to bring this so you can see it as well. Alrighty, so as you can see, we have, so this would be my 3 and 4, my 6 and 1, and my 2 and 5. So this one is a little bit too tall and not too long and not tall enough, so I need to heighten it a little bit. So once again, I remove them. So this would be 6 and 1, this would be 3 and 4, and this would be 2 and 5. Okay, so this is pretty much it. So we have a, now we have a hexagon. Thank you. I was just blessed with nicely shaped fingernails. After the appearance of acrylic nails, a lot of ladies would ask me, where do you do your nails? Home? Oh, that is awesome, you can put them on so nicely. And no, I don't put on anything except nail polish. These are my nails. And I said before, it's a pain to trim them. It really is. So what you want to do is to make sure that you do a proper hexagon when you reduce. Because that is very important. Let's see how I left behind this a little bit, so once I get them thin enough that I can work like this, I'm going to go like this because I can always straighten it as I go down. But you have to remember to come back from time to time and pull on the joints on the tips of the triangles. Try to be in the yeah, I kind of learned, see, because I've had long fingernails since I was like, I don't know, 16. So I kind of learned how to work only with my finger pads. I very rarely touch the fingernails. And I have to trim them down at one point, but as I said, it's a pain because I have to use they are very thick, and they're not as thick as my mother's were. My mother's were over 1 millimeter thick. Mine are not that thick, but I still need to use the the toenail clipper and then a diamond nail file to round them up. And I cannot leave them too long mean, the maximum would be like this, because after a while they start curving on the edges, so they look like claws. Let me see if you can see that. See, this is how they go. So if I let them go very, very long, they curve until they are absolutely sharp, pointy thing. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that Fimo left me with long ridges like this, and that's why I usually avoid having my fingernails naked without nail polish. But I love this specific holographic nail polish. It's in the Color Club line, and I do have a list on my Amazon influencer store with all the colors that I'm using. I use some more than the others, and yes, I do have a lot. And I try them, and if I don't if I'm not very enthusiastic with that color, or if I notice that I don't use it at all within a year, I give it away. And I usually give it away to high school girls. Yeah, my nails did split during chemo, but lengthwise, like this. And I did take, you can find on Puritan's Pride, and they do sell on Amazon too, but it's cheaper if you buy them on the Puritan's Pride website. They have a special formula, hair, skin, and nails, that's got some extra biotin and all kinds of other stuff, and it really helped. I also took, while I was doing chemo, I took collagen. I was always worried that I would get lupus or some other immune system disorder, because I have Graves' disease, and usually if you have one immune system disorder, you are prone to have more than one at one point in your life. Another one will start showing up, but until now nothing showed up yet, so I am glad. And yes, I know hexagonal one is a little bit harder to reduce than a round one, but and again, if you try to do it by triangle, it will work, but you might have issues reducing it properly, because you have to have a lot of precision. Now again, I'm doing this with Premo, but honestly, if your hands can do it, I suggest that you use Fimo Professional or even Kato for geometric canes like this one, because both of those are harder, firmer, and it's much easier to keep straight lines than with okay, I just want to get it long enough to be able to set a few to show you how it looks like. And on hexagonal ones, I don't use the square pairs, because I do have the tendency to, I have more strength in my right hand than in my left one. And also I'm afraid that I might have a spasm and flatten it. And when you have something like this, it's pretty hard to keep it properly and to keep the shape properly. But I'm to the point of forget about wastage. I'm gonna just make it smaller no matter what. Because I don't want to keep you here till evening. Okay, let's go ahead and call this a day, and I'm going to be able to start cutting it. And the way that you're going to arrange it, I'm going to do it on this acrylic. It doesn't matter which side you start with, just keep all your slices in the same side. Yeah, I cannot cut it properly. It gets flattened. Sorry. Guess I'm gonna have to show you next time how to cut it because it gets flattened too much. It's too soft. See how it gets all flattened. I'm going to show you next time something made with it, but this is how you do it. Yeah, I completely messed it up by trying to cut. But essentially this is how you do it. I would suggest to let it rest from time to time so you don't mess up the lines if you don't have Fimo Professional or Kato. So it will help you maintain the hexagon. I think I need to go get some Flonase in my nose because it's killing my throat. But I hope it helped you. I hope it helped you with understanding how to create this type of graduate, tiered, gradual color combinations. And when you start with the two different colors, that you have to add black and white to them, still use at the very ends, use white and black respectively, and then just keep adding. Remember the 32s thing, keep adding. Like this one, you start with a full quarter of the whole and 1/32 of the black. Here you start with a full quarter of the black and 1/32 of the white, and then you just keep reducing whatever you take, you add from the next color, so from the other end color, and reduce one from this end color. So here you have full quarter 1/32, then you do 3/16 232, 3/16 1/16, and so on and so forth. But your best bet is to use this square cutter and then cut everything into, as I showed you for the white and black. Only that you will have to add them backwards. I might post a little a recipe with all the colors, all the graduations that you need if you want to do different colors. Okay, so I did not yet, me and Anna did not manage to align our schedule so we can do that test, because what we want to do is to broadcast at the same time on my channel and on her channel, have like a split screen, only that it will be reversed. I will be on the left on my channel, she will be on the left on her channel, and then we'll go ahead and schedule the joint live broadcast. But anyway, for next time, I don't know, we might do some mokumegane stuff, because hey, it's fall, or I don't know, maybe some decoration thing or something with flowers and leaves and things. Maybe a switch light cover, that would be good too, huh? Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday, and look out for some new stuff coming up. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful week to come. Bye.